welcome back to the channel. I'm at Honister Slate Mine and I'm going to do a few Wainwrights today, but the big one is Great Gables. So let's have a look at it on the map. We start today's walk at Honister Slate Mine, the only working slate mine in England. From there we have a steep up to Grey Knots, and then once completed we have a steady walk across the top to Grey Knots itself. Once there we make our way across the plateau towards Green Gable. Before reaching the top of Green Gable I turn off to pick up base brown. This is a Wainwright and one that's difficult to pick up on any other route. Once I've got to its summit, I then head back over the same ground towards Green Gable, this time reaching the peak. And from there we have a scramble all the way up to Great Gable, and admiring the fantastic views this has to offer us. Once we've completed our main objective for the day, we then work our way down. Then we can follow the path gently down towards the slate mine. It's a fantastic walk, and you can choose to include base brown or not, it's entirely up to you. We've got a few things, a bit of artwork out of slate, and there's quite a few things in the shop as well. So it's £5 to park, and it is parking all day. You can get the bus to it, and there it is. So from Buttermere, it's the 77A bus. I'll take you straight here. Got Alison with me there. There she is. Right, starting off over this stile, and I'm round the back of the gift shop for this. Oh! This path in the mine takes you all the way up to Grey Knots, and that's our first one for today. It's quite consistently up this. The first climb is about 350 metres, so it is quite a big one to start off. On the way up now, I'm just going to look back and see the slate mine in all its glory. So there it is. That's the working area for the slate mine. Got a couple of good car parks. Then good views already. I think there's a race on today because there's these little red flags dotted about. There's some people wandering around with maps. Right, so for the first ascent, what we're going to do, we're at Honister Pass and the quarry is just here, and we're doing this big up there. It's about 350 metres up until we get to the top there, which is Grey Knots. That's our first Wainwright of the day. That's the summit when we get there. Right, let's head on up. Forecast for today is a bit overcast, a little bit of light rain in the air, so got my jacket in my bag just in case, but that's not due really till this afternoon, so hopefully it'll stay off for us. These crags, it is a little bit steeper, but the path itself dead easy, so not a problem. It's a little bit tight here, so that's what I'm looking at as we head through here. So I wouldn't say technically challenging, but there's a few little bits of interest around. It's a bit of a squeeze. This section for the last 200 metres, it does flatten out a bit, so it's not as steep as the first up, but it's still going up. Right, so then we'll be at the top of our first Wainwright for the day. That's good going. So near the fence, it is okay. Off to the side, a bit boggy. It's still sort of early springish, so it's actually about 10 degrees today, but I get hot really quickly walking up, so go adjust the t-shirt for a bit while we do this steep bit. It flattens off after this, so once we get to the top of Grey Knots, then it's just fairly level to the next one. On this route there's a couple of these little scramble areas, so a little bit of fun, hands and feet. Whoop, whoop. The boots I've got on, been on a few hikes and find them quite slippy. So I don't know if it's me or the boots, but Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Your boots.
Eh?
Your boots, because you don't slip in your shoes.
No. Still steep, it's going to remain steep until we get about probably 30 metres of height from the end. I'd say the forecast for today was saying drizzle all day, and it's a little bit, but you know, you can still get out in it, so I don't always really trust the weather forecasts to be accurate. I think they're a bit pessimistic, to be honest, but it's worth checking the mountain forecast as well, and I'll put a link in that in the description so you can check that. The difference on that is it checks the actual mountain rather than the village near it, so it gives you more information about things like how high is the cloud base, we don't want to see anything, so it's worth going on that. And for the slate mine, you can just see that's the major area they're working at the moment. That's the track down. Well, for us, we're going up here and we're still following the same fence all the way. Hands and feet job this. Oh. Does flatten out quite a bit, so I'll show you it. So what you've got, and we're just going over there. Once we get past that crest, we've got the peak. We're getting to this stile now. So here's a stile which has no fence attached to it, so just kind of go past it. It's a bit redundant. Not going to stop many sheep with that. That was alright as a climb up, really. It is a bit breathy. But, so I'm going to stay on this side because this has got the red flags on it. So it looks like this must have the top, I hope. Although I don't think it does now because that looks higher. Anyway, we'll find out. So one of those scenarios, All Trails is saying this is the top that I'm stood on, but it isn't because that is higher. So I'm going to go over there.
This is it, here.
I know that's it, you're there, but you're below me, so it can't be the top. Right, I'm going to go over there because that's higher. Little scramble. Right, here we go. It's a little tricky. Fortunately, these rocks are very solid. So there we go. Well, that's a quick way. So from here, now, that very much looks like it over there. So that's where we shall go. Well, that's the tallest thing anyway. Right, clarified it. On my information, there's 2 peaks for grey knots, but the one we're going to now is definitely the highest one. Right, let's get over there then. So you've got a little tumble down sort of fence here. Gotta get over. Could have used that style from before here. Right, so that's so just in the distance, that's the highest of the summits. The walk over to Brandreth now, which is our second Wainwright of the day, is fairly straightforward. It's only actually about 18 metres higher than Grey Knots. So it's just over there, pretty straight walk. And you can see in the background there, the big one for today. It's a good chance to get your breath back after that fairly steep up. It's quite a pleasant grassy walk across. And we're also tracking a fence, so you can probably see there's a fence going along there. So we're tracking that, so pretty easy to keep yourself in line here. The path kind of turns into this very indistinct boulder field. As long as you're picking your way across and looking for some worn grass, you're pretty much on target. And then you get to this. So what we're doing is we're heading our way towards that little gate there. Right, here we go. Once you're through the gate, it's about 20 more metres up, and then we get to the top, which is sort of on and off a little bit with the rain. It's not quite getting started. I'll put my jacket on anyway, just in case. Got a little bit further to go, past this little fence post here, and then we're just heading to the top, which looks a bit messy to me. So it's pretty flat on top again, and then we're just going over to Green Gable and Great Gable up there. As we're getting to the top, I'm just checking out a couple of things in the book, and that is where we are. It's the Western Fells for us today, and it says the top of Brandreth is described as a bare and cheerless place. And he says it's a desert of stones which nothing of interest. So that's the summit in the book, and that's the summit in reality, just with Great Gable and Green Gable behind it. Right, so from now we're going to go to Green Gable just there, which is green, and then to Great Gable there, which is a great big gable end. What are you doing? Alison's unconvinced. Did you not hear? The summit is a bare and cheerless place. A desert of stones with nothing of interest. Heading down, so quite a few people going up there. Walk down's pretty straightforward, it's a bit bouldery, but it's pretty steady. Got to the bottom of that slope now pretty much, and this is going forward. So on the top here, I'd advise you to go over to the left really, because there's a better path, and then you can head up. If you stay on the same route and kind of track down, you'll end up in around that marshy area there. So head over to the left, and then up you go there. The other advantage of going to the left is you've got this cracking view out. We're back to the climby bits, so it's up here. It's pretty steep going up. I think the ascent's something like 170 metres going up, and it is pretty green, so well named. We can see ahead of us all the time Great Gable. It's looking a lot more sinister there on the horizon, just with a little misty top. Got these curve markers going up, but the path's pretty clear going up. That's the shot you get going back down the valley. Look at that. And this is where we've been, so we came up the other side there, and then to here, so a bit further on to Green Gable, and then we're at the top there for Great Gable. Look back as you go up here, you have got the valley open up there as well. This bit again, it's pretty bouldery, but we're coming to the end of it in a sec. Then we're on the grass. Right, grass ahoy. so at this point, we're just up there to Green Gable, but there is a split off. At the split, I'm going to go down to Base Brown, which is just over there. Pick that up because that's one Wainwright. And really, because there's no other good way to get to it except come up the very steep valley and end up by going down there again, which I don't fancy doing. Pretty good down actually, and then once you've done it, we're on this grassy bit now. We've just come to the end, so it's all the way up there. Straight walk along the field. You don't have to do this one, it's just if you're doing the Wainwrights, this is probably the best way to do it, I think anyway. There's one other way to do it, but that requires a very steep up and a steep down, so I'm not really into steep downs, so I'll avoid that. But yeah, you can just do the route as a circular, or go and collect this one if you want to do all the Wainwrights. Bit boggy underfoot. So this boggy stuff, not for far, for like 20 yards, and then you're back on the path. That's the path there. It's kind of a bit boggy, a bit stony a lot of the time, but it's not a bad bog, it's all right. He says. It's definitely one of the fewest visited Wainwrights. It's not really on a circular route. You have to go and get it. Look, there's Alison, she's beat me. Surprise little Wainwright we tucked in. What do you think?
Yeah. That nice views like.
Yeah. So this is what we're looking at. Going out. That one done. I'm going to move from Base Brown now, and we're going to drop about 50 metres going down, so we just have to do a little dip, then we're up 200 metres and that'll take us to Green Gable. Sheep there wondering what we're doing. We don't see many walkers around here. What are you doing? Alright mate, coming through there, you're going to have to shift. Stay there if you want, it's fine. Alright, so you can see there's a path up, and that's the one we came down. But there's another one that goes from the valley. That's a bit of an up though. As you're coming down here, you've got cracking views on this side, look at that. This is the start of the up, so about 200 metres up. And then we'll be at Green Gable, near where we were before. I was kind of wondering why Base Brown was included as a Wainwright, because there's not a lot there to be honest. But he said it's just really the start of all the crags. So I guess if you're coming up and that's your first one, then you're going on to Green Gable and Great Gable. Yeah, it makes sense. And he says it's aesthetically pleasing, kind of as you're looking at it going into the crags. So that's why. Pretty easy going up to be honest. It's just covering the same ground we've just done. Then we're back to the split off in the path. Eventually we get back to where we were sort of originally. Get up that. Right, so we're just heading up there towards those sheep. As you're coming up here, you can just follow the cairn markers. So pretty well easy to spot as you head up. I'm back to the split now. So that's the where we came up, where these lads are going. And we're going to continue up. It's only a short distance, flattens out anyway. And that's Green Gable just there. Right, so I think this is the site of the International Cairn Building Championship. Look at that. It's like hundreds of the things. Wow. Great Gables there. Still beckoning us. Right, so there it is. That is the top of Green Gable. Oh yeah. And Great Gable's just there. That's our view down the valley. Absolutely cracking. Okay, so got a little down to do. Then up about 100 metres. So following this path towards the windbreak and then just down and then up to the top of Great Gable. This again, it's a bit rocky on top, but it's fine. No need for that windbreak today. There is absolutely no wind. From there we're going to descend about probably 30 metres into Windy Gap, as it's called, and then we're going to head up. So Windy Gap's just a sort of place name. I bet it is pretty windy because it's between these two valleys here, so I guess the wind is going to whip between those two. Just coming down, it is a bit gravelly and a bit sketchy, so I'll just show it to you. So it's red rock going down, but it's pretty loose stuff. There's a little squad of runners. Absolutely mad. There's a view down though. There's no point rushing this kind of thing because it's just going to lead into trouble. Yeah, you look at that view there, I'll look at my feet. We'll be down in a few yards. Getting down now, last couple of metres, and then we're going to gain all that again up there. This is Windy Gap, so we're between this valley here, sort of going in the Borrowdale direction, and then the other one there, but there's no wind today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, and it's about a 150 metre climb. Same scrabbly type stuff to start off with, but it looks okay really. Right, let's get up there. We start coming up here, if you could just look down, and Styhead Tarn's just down there. There it is. I am going to say it again, there's a bit of a scramble. So if you do like a scramble, this is a good route for you. Right, let's get up here. It does look quite steep, this, and it is. But realistically, there's quite a few handholds, the rock's pretty solid, so it's pretty decent actually to get up. If you're new to climbing up scrambles, recommendation really is don't go on your knees, because if you slip and your kneecaps there, be a bit of an issue. So hands and feet, and ideally 3 points of contact at all time. He says holding a GoPro. It's a bit of a distance this, but you can stop when you want. Today it's dry underfoot, so it's fine up here, and I'll stop wasting time getting a breather and I'll get up. Okay, here we go. Right, that pretty much is most of it. Start to do, but it kind of levels off a bit. It's less scrambly. Here's Alison. You alright? That's the route back there to Green Gable. Nearly there. Yeah, there you go. Right, great. I'm really quite pleased because it was worth doing base brown, because essentially the little claggy stuff that was around before, that's gone, so the top's clear now, which is great. It's very pebbly, you can probably hear it under my feet. So about 70 metres to go up, then we're at the top. I've not mentioned it, but Great Gable is the highest one in the Western Fells, so it is a good one. We're nearly at the crest now, so a little bit further up, and we're there. Just see the cairn markers there, take our direction. Even from here, it's an amazing view out. There's a couple of ways up, so I'm just going to go this way past this cairn. When we get to the top of this, there's a war memorial for the Climbing Society, so we'll have a look at that. Right, here we go. We're just going to go over there to the top, and that should be the memorial we can just see in front of us there. Even though this is a Sunday and it's spring, we've got the top to ourselves, there's no one here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, so I would have thought it'd be busier, but absolutely no one. The weather forecast wasn't great, and the advantage of that is a lot of people don't bother because they only want to go when it's really sunny or when it's definitely nice all the time. Doesn't matter, if it says light rain, jacket like this will be fine. That is what I think, and I always keep it in my bag anyway, because you never know. So, you know, what I'd say is just don't wait till that sunny day, because you're going to have a very packed fell top. You know, loads of people here for a much better time, much quieter if you come out when it's kind of like maybe some light rain. As we complete this, a couple more cairn markers, and then we'll go and check out the top. Because this is the highest fell in the western region, it's uninterrupted views, so I'll show you around a little bit with the drone, get that up, because now that cloud's gone and there's no rain, it's not happened, so I'll show you around, see what there is. I'm not even at the top yet, but I've just hit the crest and the other valley has opened up there, so look at that. Now that is an amazing view. Right, let's get up there. Okay, so we'll go through the War Memorial and have a look at that. It's just up here. So here it is. This is really cool. So, Felon Rock Climbing Club, in glorious and happy memory of those whose names are inscribed below, members of this club who died for their country in the European War, 1914 to 1918, so First World War. These fells were acquired by the fellow members and by them vested in the National Trust for the use and enjoyment of the people of our land for all time. Right, and there's all the brave soldiers there. The cool thing about this is this is actually, it's showing you the roots around and you can feel them. So that's even more cool if you've got sight impairment and you can follow those. Wow. It's the actual top then. It's just a couple of metres away. I wasn't expecting that. Right. Over here, of course, you can see the very distinctive path up there to Scarfell Pike, and then a little bit further back is Scarfell. I'm trying to make out Lord's Rake there because we went up the other week, and that is sketchy, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So the top's clear all around today. That's Wastwater down there. But when I did the video on Scarfell, just to mention it, I came up from Wastwater, but this is Ling Mel, the thing you can see right in front of you. If you go up that, then you get great views from that side of Great Gable here and the range. But if you walk up Brown Tongue, which most people do in the middle there, you won't see anything. So I'd really advise that. So check out that video if you've not seen it. You're thinking of going up Scarfell Pike. Then you go up, and then I went across and down. Well, so from here, I'm going to work our way down. If you enjoyed the video so far, then just click on the like. And if you're not subscribed and you want to see more of these, then just click on subscribe. If you think somebody else might like it, you can share it. So any of those help me. But equally, if you've got a comment on it, or you just want to say hi, then do that in the comments. That'd be great to hear from you. Right, let's work our way down there. When you're coming off, there's a couple of little routes, and it's not that clear where you should go, but there are cairn markers, so just look at them when you're coming off. But essentially, you're coming off to the left of the way you went up. There's a little incline going across here, and then we're just walking back to the slate mine. So it's pretty steady, this route back. We've done all the altitude for today, so we can just relax and enjoy the views. And look at that valley view there. Hello. This path coming over from Great Gable, it's called Moss Trod. So you'll see on the maps it's pretty well used as a path out of here. Thanks for watching the video. I've really enjoyed doing this for you today. If you enjoyed the video, just give it a like, and if you want to see more of these, just click on subscribe, and I'll see you next time. back pretty much at the mine.